The box office expectation is very big. Thunivu and Varisu for both films. The fan base for Ajit sir and Vijay sir is also very big in Australia.
So why you choose Thunivu film?
ஒரு படத்துல நாங்க focus பண்ணலாம்னு we decided. So when the film came, it's just unbelievable. Like we got the biggest record for pre-sales, pre-bookings. Most of the Hollywood films get priority, but this time for Thunivu, we're planning to do some billboards, public transport, bus train like those things as well. We're trying to do. Most Tamil films they don't do.
So Australia பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் இந்த மாஸ் ஓப்பனிங் எந்த ஸ்டாருக்கு இருக்கு?
Conji filmsக்கு தான் அந்த that hype இருக்கும் தானே, right? And like where they see it in the news, they see it in the newspaper and advertisements. Depending on the content, definitely we're all hoping for at least a month or.
எஸ்எஸ் மியூசிக் நேயர்களுக்கு வணக்கம், நான் உங்கள் வசந்த். ஸோ இந்த பொங்கலுக்கு வாரிசு அண்ட் துணிவு இரண்டு படங்களுமே தமிழ்நாடு மட்டும் இல்லாமல் வேர்ல்டு வைட் ரிலீஸ் ஆக போகுது. ஸோ அந்த வகையில் துணிவு படத்தை ஆஸ்திரேலியாவில் ஸ்க்ரீன் பண்ண போகிற வேன்சன் மூவிஸ்லேருந்து கபிஷன் பிரதர் நம்ம கூட இருக்கார். பிரதர் வணக்கம்.
ஹாய்
சார், ஹவ் ஆர் யூ பிரதர்?
குட், தேங்க்யூ ப்ரோ.
நாளுக்கு நாள் நம்ம துணிவு அண்ட் வாரிசு படத்தோட எக்ஸ்பெக்டேஷன்ஸ் அதிகமாகிட்டே போயிட்டுருக்கு. ஏன்னா லாஸ்ட்டாக சில்லா சில்லா சாங் ரிலீஸ் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க ஃப்ரம் துணிவு மூவி. அதுக்கப்புறம் தீ தளபதி பாட்டும் ஸோ வாரிசு படத்துலேருந்து ரிலீஸ் ஆகிருக்கு. பயங்கர ஒரு ஹைப் கொடுத்துருக்கு இந்த இரண்டு பாடல்களுமே. ஸோ ஆஸ்திரேலியா பொறுத்த வரைக்குமே அந்த ஒரு எக்ஸ்பெக்டேஷன்ஸ் எப்படி இருக்குது?
Definitely, this is a very special year for AK and the Talapati fans because they are both releasing same time after a long time. But the box office expectation is very big for Thunivu and Varisu for both films. The fan base for Ajit sir and Vijay sir is also very big in Australia. So it's, everyone is excited for this film. At the end of the day, it all depends on the content, right? So on the quality of the film, making the story as well. So these things are what really make the film a success, and that's what it all depends on. But yeah, definitely all Australian Tamil people are very excited for this film. So, and I'm also very excited for these films.
So which film has greater expectation in Australia?
I think both films are equally strong, Vasant. Like I said, the fan base for both is almost equal. There isn't more Talapati fans or more AK fans. So, but definitely from a box office perspective, I think we'll definitely break a few records, and because both of the fans will definitely celebrate and support these films.
So why you choose Thunivu film?
No reason, Vasant. Basically, we committed to Thunivu really early. So commit panapram. It didn't make sense, right? So we wanted to ஒரு படத்துல நாங்க focus பண்ணலாம்னு we decided. So yeah, there's no other reason why we didn't choose Varisu.
தமிழ்நாடு பொறுத்த வரைக்குமே பொங்கலுக்கு ரிலீஸ் ஆக போகுது. பொங்கல் அப்படிங்கும்போது கண்டினியூஸ்லி 7 days லீவ் இருக்கும். ஸோ ஒரு படம் சரியாக போனாலும் போகாட்டியும் சரி, அந்த 7 days மக்கள் எல்லாருமே ஃபேமிலியோட வந்து ரெண்டு படங்களுமே வந்து பார்ப்பாங்க. ஸோ ஆஸ்திரேலியா பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் எப்படி?
Definitely, there's a craze for AK and Talapati films and Tamil films in general as well. Since it's coming out in Pongal, more family audience definitely varuvanga cinemaku. But I think the main thing you need to know about Australia and most overseas market is there's more craze for first day first show. Okay. So that's where there'll be more craze. Obviously, it's not the same as Tamil Nadu, right? But there's definitely a craze for that. I think all Tamil Australians are super excited to see their heroes on the big screen, especially for Ajit sir. It's been a year since Valime, and even Vijay sir as well. There's huge expectation. Yeah.
So இங்கே பொறுத்த வரைக்குமே ஒரு ஃபிலிம் ரிலீஸ் ஆகுது அப்படின்னா, ஸோ ஃப்ரைடே ரிலீஸ் ஆகும், நெக்ஸ்ட் ஃப்ரைடே இன்னொரு படம் ரிலீஸ் ஆகும். ஸோ ஆஸ்திரேலியா பொறுத்த வரைக்குமே நிறையா ஃபிலிம்ஸ் ரிலீஸ் ஆகும் பிரதர். ஸோ ஆல் லாங்குவேஜ் ஃபிலிம்ஸும் வந்து அங்கே ரிலீஸ் ஆகும். ஸோ அங்கே பொறுத்த வரைக்குமே ஸோ ஒரு படம் எவ்வளோ நாள் ரன் ஆகிறதுக்கான வாய்ப்பு இருக்குது?
It depends on the film, Vasant. For some of these bigger films, we can expect at least a few weeks, sometimes to a month. But there's also smaller releases, and those ones 1 to 2 weeks is usually the maximum. But definitely for Thunivu and Varisu, depending on the content, definitely we're all hoping for at least a month or more than a month.
More than a month.
Yeah, more than a month.
ஸோ ஆஸ்திரேலியா பொறுத்த வரைக்குமே அந்த ப்ரொமோஷன்ஸ் வைஸ் நீங்கள் என்ன மாதிரி ஒரு டிஃப்ரெண்ட்டாக பண்ணலான்னு இருக்கீங்க இந்த மாதிரி?
Definitely, like you said, there's the basic marketing, which is online marketing, cinema posters, the things like that. But this time for Thunivu, we're planning to do some billboards in Australia and New Zealand, and they were also planning to do on the public transport, bus, train, like those things as well. We're trying to do this release, which most Tamil films they don't do. So we're hoping to do it this time. But the reason they don't do it is because if you look at Australia, Vasant, there is a smaller population down there, right? So since there's a smaller Tamil population there, most of the Hollywood films get priority for the major billboards and such. But definitely, we are going to do some amazing things for Thunivu. And we are very excited, and definitely there'll be updates soon on our social media.
So Vanson movies, so எவ்வளோ கண்ட்ரீஸில் துணிவு படத்தை ரிலீஸ் பண்ண போகுது?
So we're going to be releasing in Australia and New Zealand. We normally release the films in Fiji and Papua New Guinea too. So basically there's Oceania. Oceania is the kind of area, right? We are the distributors for that, for this film. Yeah.
Okay. Australia,
New Zealand and Fiji and Papua New Guinea as well, depending on the cinema screens and such as well.
So AK sir and Vijay sir, ஸோ 2 பேர் படங்களுமே நான் ஃபெஸ்டிவல் டைமில் ரிலீஸ் ஆச்சு அப்படின்னா கூட ஃபேன்ஸ் எல்லாருமே ஸோ அந்த ஒரு டேவை ஃபெஸ்டிவலாக கொண்டாடுவாங்க. ஸோ ஆஸ்திரேலியா பொறுத்த வரைக்குமே அந்த ஒரு செலிப்ரேஷன்ஸ் எப்படி இருக்கும்?
Like I said, basically நீங்கள் first day first show போனீங்கன்னா there will always be whistling, cheering, sometimes dancing. But the celebrations will be very level, Vasant. The Australian Tamil people as well, we're very connected to our culture, to Indian culture. So because we are connected, we love to support the movies. So basically, there will be definitely a big celebration for Thunivu and Varisu.
ஸோ இதுக்கு முன்னாடி எவ்வளோ தமிழ் ஃபிலிம்ஸ் நீங்கள் ஆஸ்திரேலியா அண்ட் நியூசிலாந்து ஸோ அங்கே ரிலீஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கீங்க? அண்ட் இந்த இயரில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இந்த ஹையஸ்ட் கிராஸ் ஓவர் கலெக்ஷன்ஸ் எந்த ஃபிலிமுக்கு வந்திருக்கு?
This year and all time actually was Ponniyin Selvan 1, which our company Vanson Movies released. We're very proud to have released this film. It's a very special film, as you know. In the part of we got repeated viewing, so people, second time, third time, they went and watched it, right? So it was very special, and also audiences from all age groups, so all age groups came to enjoy, and it was an awesome release for us. Yeah.
ஸோ ஆஸ்திரேலியா பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் இந்த மாஸ் ஓப்பனிங் எந்த ஸ்டாருக்கு இருக்கிறது பொதுவாக?
I think for in Australia at least, I think we support all films, whichever the hero is. It's mostly depend on the good content and the expectation for the film, right? I wouldn't say there's one. There's obviously the big stars, right? Ajit sir, Vijay sir, but even other stars as well. Sivakarthikeyan sir, Vijay Sethupathi sir. There's all other stars. We all celebrate. We all enjoy. If the film Simbu sir, a lot of artists. If the film is good, definitely Australian people enjoy பண்ணி பார்ப்பாங்க.
தேட்டர் ஸ்பிளிட்டிங், ஸோ தமிழ்நாடு பொறுத்த வரைக்குமே இங்கே ஒரு 50% அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. ஸோ ஆஸ்திரேலியா பொறுத்த வரைக்குமே நிறையா லாங்குவேஜஸ்லேருந்து படங்கள் ரிலீஸ் ஆக வாய்ப்பு இருக்குது. ஸோ அங்கே ஒரு தேட்டர் ஸ்பிளிட்டிங் எப்படி இருக்கும்?
So basically Vasant, Hollywood films done number 1 priority கொடுப்பாங்க. Obviously because there's a higher population of English speaking population, right? But after that, the remaining screens, they go to other world languages. But there's a lot of other languages, right? In Australia, it's a very diverse country, and there's so many different speaking languages. So, they have other types of cinema, like Chinese films, French films, Korean films, all kinds of ethnicities. So as part of that, there's Indian cinema, right? So normally the cinemas, they try and distribute equally. But the special thing about Indian cinema is that we release a lot of films every year. So we release so many films, right? And because we release so many films, we are a major share and the cinema, the box office income, like Indian cinema, then one of the biggest shares after Hollywood cinema. So because of that, they like to prioritize Indian cinema a little bit. But it depends on the film, right? So for example, for Thunivu and Varisu, Vasant, they will most likely be equal screens கொடுப்பாங்க because they're both big stars. But if there's maybe a smaller release and a bigger release same time, obviously அவங்க அந்த bigger releaseக்கு தான் more screens கொடுப்பாங்க.
So Vanson movies. So when it started, so இது வரைக்கும் எவ்வளோ தமிழ் ஃபிலிம்ஸ் நீங்கள் ரிலீஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கீங்க?
So basically we focus on Australia, New Zealand, Vasant. We've actually, the company originated 30 years ago, so we've been in the business a long time. We also do production. So we, a few years back, one of our hit films, Sethupathi by Vijay Sethupathi, we're the producers of that film. So we are mostly involved in production and distribution in Australia, New Zealand, Fiji, Papua New Guinea, that area. And looking to the future, we have a few production plans in the works. And we also have a lot of distributions coming. So yeah, definitely keep updated on our social media and there'll be a lot of exciting updates.
லைக் இந்தியன் சினிமாவையும் நம்ம ஆஸ்திரேலியா கொண்டு போய் சேர்க்கணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி ஸோ நீங்கள் நிறையா லைக் எஃபர்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம் போடுறீங்க இல்லையா? ஸோ இதுக்கு முன்னாடி என்ன மாதிரி ஒரு டிஃபிகல்ட்டிஸ் எல்லாம் இருக்குது பிரதர்?
I guess, to be honest, 90% it's the best, no difficulties, right? But there's always going to be certain things that happen. Like we can't plan for it, right? So it's, some of the difficulties are obviously as a distributor, more screens, you want more screens, right? But then sometimes the cinemas might have they have a different view, or there's other big releases. For example, for Thunivu and Varisu, I think Avatar 2 will be releasing, right? Avatar 2 is a big Hollywood movie, and the way, because there's so much population, English-speaking population, cinemas have to cater for those for Avatar 2 and other Hollywood films like that. So when that film comes, there might be a little bit restriction for getting more theaters, but definitely the cinemas still support. Because they plan, how do I say, they plan like months in advance. Advance plan பண்ணுவாங்க. So when they're planning in advance, they know Avatar 2 in the date to வரும். And we also approached them earlier for Thunivu. So we locked in those dates. So நாங்க lock பண்ண அப்புறம் then they know நாங்க release பண்ண போறோம் என்று. So but things like that, small things like that, but definitely it's 90, I even say 99% is there's no difficulty. It's a great industry to be in, and cinemas, exhibitors, producers, filmmakers, everyone is so wonderful, and it's awesome to associate with them.
பெரிய ஸ்டார்ஸோட படங்கள் ரிலீஸ் ஆக போகுது அப்படின்னா ஸோ இருக்கிற நார்மல் ரேட்டை விட கொஞ்சம் எக்ஸ்ட்ராவாக தான் வந்து டிக்கெட் ப்ரைஸிங்ஸ் வந்து விற்பாங்க. ஸோ ஆஸ்திரேலியா பொறுத்த வரைக்குமே அந்த ஒரு ப்ரைஸிங்ஸ் எப்படி இருக்கும்?
It depends on the film, Vasant, and at the end of the day, it also depends on the cinemas, because they are the ones that kind of judge which films are doing better, which films are not doing better, and that's a decision that they make. But at the end of the day, the prices are very affordable, so everyone can come and watch, and everyone does come and watch. So the price is usually not an issue for Australian Tamil people, and sometimes even a lot of the cinemas for big blockbuster Tamil films, even for example Ponniyin Selvan, they do put the tickets avanga sale கொடுப்பாங்க, discount பண்ணி. So things like that they do, but at the end of the day, that's the cinema's job, right? So yeah.
ஸோ நிறையா ஃபிலிம்ஸ் நீங்கள் ரிலீஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கீங்க. ஓகே, நீங்களே ஒரு எக்ஸைட்டடாக இருந்திருப்பீங்க இல்லையா? ஓகே, ஸோ இந்த படத்தை இப்படியெல்லாம் வந்து செலிப்ரேட் பண்ணி கொண்டாடுவாங்களா அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி, லைக் அது அப்படி எந்த படம் ஆஸ்திரேலியாவில் நீங்கள் பார்த்து ரொம்பவே வியந்தீங்க?
Definitely, I think that's PS1, Ponniyin Selvan, because I think a few months before we got the rights for the film, there was some talk in the industry, right? Like what is the response going to be like? எப்படி இந்த படம் இருக்க போகுதுன்னு. But when the film came, it's just unbelievable. Like we got the biggest record for pre-sales, pre-bookings, right? So for Tamil film, the cinemas couldn't believe it. They couldn't believe that a film was had this much hype. So, and also the way that the people celebrate the films, the way in the cinema they are enjoying the Maniratnam sir did an amazing job for this film, right? So the way they enjoy this film, and the cast as well, James Ravi sir, Karthi sir, all these amazing artists, and especially Aishwarya Rai madam, Trisha madam. I'm a huge fan of Trisha madam, so I really enjoyed the whole film. Was just amazing, and the way that the people supported the film was amazing too. And I think another reason for that also is because it's a part of our history, right? So since it's a part of our history, and since Tamil Australians are so connected to the culture of Indian and Tamil culture, I think that's the reason why the film did so well.
கான்டென்ட் வந்து நல்லா இருந்துச்சு அப்படின்னா தமிழ் ஆடியன்ஸை தாண்டி ஸோ வேறு மக்களும் வந்து படம் பார்க்க வாய்ப்பு இருக்கா இன் ஆஸ்திரேலியா?
Definitely. Even for PS1, Vasant, you won't believe, we had even English speakers, a lot of other language people, other ethnicities, they came to watch the film. If there's a good content, definitely you reach. But most of the time, Vasant, it's only like, how do I say, it's only for a few films. Konja films and that hype irukundane, right? And like where they see it in the news, they see it in the newspaper and advertisements. So for PS1, it's a special film. But most films, they probably don't go. But still, the Tamil Australians will always support these Tamil films, definitely.
ஸோ உங்களை மீட் பண்ணி ஸோ பேசினதில் எனக்கு ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம். ஸோ ஃபைனலி தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச் பிரதர்ஸ்.
Thank you so much, Vasan. Thank you for having me.